Hello guys, I'm a Mallu UPSC CSE aspirant. I would like to share some mistakes that happened during my preparation. For what purpose? To identify these mistakes will help you to save an attempt. I would like to share a newspaper clipping. ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടായിരിക്കും. ദിസ് ഹിന്ദു നാഷണൽ ഡെയിലിയിൽ എഡിറ്റോറിയലായിട്ട് വന്ന ഒരു ന്യൂസാണ്. ദിസ് വാസ് ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ് അബൌട്ട് 2026 UPSC Prelims. And it highlighted how this year's paper was unusually long, unpredictable, and difficult. And even the UPSC chairman acknowledged students' concerns. So, this is not just your feeling. The exam is actually changing. So, understand the exam is actually changing. So, what changed this year? This is what happened. This year aspirants had to go through nearly 55 pages, around 40,000 words in just 2 hours. ഒരു 2 മണിക്കൂറിനുള്ളിൽ ഒരു ആസ്പിരൻറ്റ് മസ്റ്റ് ഗോ ത്രൂ 55 പേജസ്, ഒരു 40,000 വേർഡ്സോളം കവർ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ദിസ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ആൻ ഈസി തിങ് ടു കവർ ഇൻ എ വെരി ലിമിറ്റഡ് ടൈം പീരിയഡ്. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ്സ് എക്സാക്ട്ലി വൈ മോസ്റ്റ് ആസ്പിരൻറ്റ്സ് ആർ മേക്കിംഗ് ദിസ് 5 critical mistakes. So the mistake number 1 is studying too many books for one subject. Just look on this question. This is a question from physical geography, but this is not a direct question. It can answer only through clarity and revision. Then I can give 20 seconds to analyze this question. I can give for you 20 seconds to analyze this question. Understand this question. If possible, try to answer this question. If you cannot, that's not a problem. Just analyze it. Just understand this question properly. Okay. Yes, 20 seconds is over. So, just look after this question. Consider the following statements. The first statement is, without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point everywhere on the Earth's surface. Everywhere. Everywhere is an extreme statement. The second statement, heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet average temperature. That may be a positive possible statement. The third statement, atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at absorbing and trapping radiation. അല്ല എന്ന് പറയാൻ നമുക്കൊരു പോസിബിലിറ്റി അല്ല. particularly good at. good ആണ് എന്ന് നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. that is a positive possible statement. but the first statement is confusing. ഈ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഒത്തിരി ക്ലാഷസ് ഡിബേറ്റ്സിന് ലീഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. എപ്പോഴാണോ UPSC ഒഫീഷ്യലായിട്ട് ആൻസർ കീ ബ്രോക്കൗട്ട് ചെയ്തത്, on that time we realized the thing that the statement is right. The first statement right ആണെന്നാണ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. but the confusing fact that they everywhere, എല്ലായിടത്തും ഒരു എക്സ്ട്രീം സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെൻറ്റിൽ ഇത് പോസിബിൾ ആകുമോ എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഡൗട്ട്. വിത്തൗട്ട് ദ അറ്റ്മോസ്ഫിയർ ഇല്ലാത്ത ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ വുഡ് ബി ഈസ് എ പോസിറ്റീവ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്. വൈ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ പോസിറ്റീവ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്? വുഡ് ബി ഈസ് എ പോസിബിലിറ്റി, ഒരു സാധ്യതയാണ് നമുക്ക് മുമ്പിൽ തരുന്നത്. ബട്ട് ദിസ് വാസ് എ ഡിബേറ്റിംഗ് വൺ. സോ ദ റൈറ്റ് ആൻസർ ഈസ് ഓൾ ആർ കറക്റ്റ്. Without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point everywhere on the Earth's surface. Heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperature. Atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at absorbing and trapping radiation. So the answer is C. 1, 2 and 3 all are correct. How to find this answer? Only through revision, understanding the key terms, using NCERT and basic books, which means that we should focus on one book for one subject, because this topic widely says in physical geography class +1 book chapter 8 and 9. So choose one book and revise it clearly, understand, reread all in wise way. You can choose to, do you want to become a district collector or a book collector? Stick on one book. choose second one as a reference to first one. Add on new knowledge. Never ever use multiple books for one subject. So the first mistake to avoid is that studying one book for one subject. Never ever use too many books for one subject. Okay. Then the next mistake to avoid is that following multiple current affairs sources. Only because if you revise one source properly, this was easy. But multiple sources, you forget everything. That's why choose limited sources to collect current affairs. Then the third mistake to avoid is ignoring mains preparation. As we all know that we get only limited time after prelims for preparing mains. And as already said, clarity is important when clearing prelims. Why we get clarity and in-depth knowledge over prelims syllabus? Only through mains preparation. Choose prelims topics from mains syllabus, cover it simultaneously, is a smart work to clear prelims. Then the next mistake can happen is leaving optional after prelims. If your option is weak, clearing prelims is not enough. At least cover 60% before prelims. Fifth and final mistake is to avoid is that depending only on knowledge for prelims. Just look after this question. This question is about unmanned aerial vehicles. All types of UAVs can do vertical landing. All types of UAVs can do automated hovering. All types of UAVs can use battery only as a source of power supply, which uses extreme word in all statement. All types. This is a question from technology. Science and technology is a possibility. At the same time, it shows some limitations. It is not possible in all types. We can find out answer from this. The three statements were not correct, so the answer is none. So can find out prelims is a smart solving. It is a game. Can use tricks and tips to get succeed. How much you studied or how many you read is not a matter of concern. But the games looks like a snake and ladder. Identify ladders and climb over it. Identify snakes. It may be lack of knowledge, lack of tactics, lack of confidence. Try to build yourself. At the end, UPSC CSE is just an exam, not the whole life. I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys.